Hey there, everybody. It's me, Lily Rose, the admin here at Encouragement Corner on Facebook. And I thought, wow, it's been a while since I did a video one. I've been doing a lot of the audio, and that's just easier for me in my home. And also, I just feel led to mostly do it that way. But I know every now and then it's nice to see the administrator's face and who runs this group. Well, that's me. And we are continuing on today in the book of Daniel, chapter 6, guys. This is one of those chapters that I think most people know about. And if you grew up in church, you've probably seen either a felt board or a video or something on Daniel in the lion's den. But let's read from God's word today. Darius the Mede decided to divide the kingdom into 120 provinces, and he appointed a high officer to rule over each province. The king also chose Daniel and 2 others as administrators to supervise the high officers and protect the king's interests. Daniel soon proved himself more capable than all the other administrators and high officers because of Daniel's great ability. The king made plans to place him over the entire empire. Then the other administrators and high officers began searching for some fault in the way Daniel was handling government affairs, but they couldn't find anything to criticize or condemn. Wow, these guys are nice. He was faithful, always responsible, and completely trustworthy. So they concluded our only chance of finding grounds for accusing Daniel will be in connection with the rules of his religion. So guys, these people were out to get him, right? And they wanted probably his prestige and his position. But Daniel had earned it by being righteous and faithful and trustworthy. So the administrators and high officers went to the king and said, "Long live King Darius. We are all in agreement, we administrators, officials, high officers, advisors, and governors, that the king should make a law that will be strictly enforced. Give orders that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone, divine or human, except to you, your majesty, will be thrown into a den of lions. And now, your majesty, issue and sign this law so it cannot be changed. An official law of the Medes and Persians that cannot be revoked." So King Darius signed this law. So these guys were so deceptive that they wanted to make sure once the king found out it was Daniel, he couldn't reverse it. He couldn't undo the punishment. But when Daniel learned that the law had been signed, he went home and knelt down as usual in his upstairs room with its windows open toward Jerusalem. He prayed 3 times a day, just as he had always done, giving thanks to God. Then the officials went together to Daniel's house and found him praying and asking God for help. So they went straight to the king and reminded him about his law. "Did you not sign a law that for the next 30 days, any person who prays to anyone, divine or human, except to you, your majesty, will be thrown in a den of lions?" "Yes," the king replied, "that decision stands. It is an official law of the Medes and Persians and cannot be revoked." Then they told the king, "The man Daniel, one of the captives from Judah, is ignoring you and your law. He still prays to his God 3 times a day." Hearing this, the king was deeply troubled, and he tried to think of a way to save Daniel. He spent the rest of the day looking for a way to get Daniel out of this predicament. In the evening, the men went together to the king and said, "Your Majesty, you know that according to the law of the Medes and Persians, no law the king signs can ever be changed." So at last the king gave orders for Daniel to be arrested and thrown into a den of lions. The king said to him, "May your God, whom you serve so faithfully, rescue you." A stone was brought and placed over the mouth of the den. The king sealed the stone with his own royal seal and the seals of his nobles so that no one could rescue Daniel. Then the king returned to his palace and spent the night fasting. So here the king is interceding in a way for Daniel. He refused his usual entertainment and couldn't sleep at all that night. Very early the next morning, the king got up and hurried out to the lion's den. When he got there, he called out in anguish, "Daniel, servant of the living God, was your God whom you served so faithfully able to rescue you from the lions?" Daniel answered, "Long live the king! My God sent his angels to shut the mouths of lions so that they would not hurt me, for I have been found innocent in his sight, and I have not wronged you, your majesty." The king was overjoyed and ordered that Daniel be lifted from the den. Not a scratch was found on him, for he had trusted in his God. Then the king gave orders to arrest the men who had maliciously accused Daniel. He had them thrown into the lion's den, along with their wives and children. The lions leaped on them and tore them apart before they even hit the floor of the den. Then King Darius sent his message to the people of every race, nation, and language throughout the world. "Peace and prosperity to you. I decree that everyone throughout my kingdom should tremble with fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God, and he will endure forever. His kingdom will never be destroyed, and his rule will never end. He rescues and saves his people. He performs miraculous signs and wonders in the heavens and on earth. He has rescued Daniel from the power of the lions." So Daniel prospered during the reign of Darius and the reign of Cyrus the Persian. God, it is so important to remember this God that we serve is a faithful God. He loves his kids, and we need to remember to cry out to him and to plead and to intercede for our brothers and sisters that are in trouble, or in our own needs, to remember that we serve a really big God that knows us and that will take care of us, and that does things like shut the mouths of lions and cause men to not burn up in the furnace. He's a big God. So I pray that you would take time to both thank and praise our big God, and also, if you're struggling through something right now, to ask him big and trust him in the situations that you're in, that he is faithful and he has your back. I love you guys. Bye.